Hello, today is 1st April 2021. By names of Nawasa Naomi. I'm a student in the Bachelor's of Art program with College for America at Southern New Hampshire University. I'm conducting this interview as part of my academic work. With your consent, I will record this interview and use the information in the street interview deliverable I'm working on for a goal called Government and You, a project called Government and You, and the interview will be used to create the deliverable for the street interview deliverable and submit it to College for America so that my project can be evaluated. This recording will be used solely for this purpose. The interview information will be temporarily stored in the College for America online evaluative system, to which only the evaluator and College for America staff will have access to. Do you have any questions?
No question.
Do you give your consent to be interviewed and recorded?
Yes. I, as a practice numbers man, give my informed consent to participate in this interview to be recorded and used as a part of the student academic work.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
Today is 1st April 2021. By names of Nawasa Naomi. I'm a student in the Bachelor's of Art program with College for America at Southern New Hampshire University. I'm conducting this interview as part of my academic work. With your consent, I will record this interview and use the information to create a deliverable called street interview. I'm working on for a project called Government Interview, and the interview will be used to create a street interview deliverable and submit it to College for America so that my project can be evaluated. This recording will be solely used for this purpose. The interview information will be temporarily stored in the College for America online evaluation system, to which only the evaluator and the College for America staff will have access. Do you have any questions? Do you give your consent to be interviewed and recorded?
Yes, I, Gilbert Nyamoza, give my informed consent to participate in this interview to be recorded and used as part of student academic work.
Okay, thank you so much. What are the three branches of the government?
Thank you for the questions. I think the three branches of the government are judicial, legislative, and executive.
So there are normally three branches of the government, which are named to be the legislative branch, the executive branch, and the judicial branch.
Second question is, what does each branch do? Or what does the judicial branch do?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Okay, thank you.
And these three branches each has the role it plays in the government. The legislative branch makes laws, declares laws, regulates interstate and foreign commerce, and controls taxing and spending policies. The executive branch is responsible for enforcing the laws of the land made by the legislative branch, and the judicial branch is in charge of interpreting and applying laws which are enforced by the executive branch.
Democrats and Republicans are the major parties. Can you name a third party?
It's a minor political party.
Oh, thank you.
So as we know, in the United States there are three major parties functioning, which are named to be the Democrats and the Republicans, and there are also a third party which is named to be the minor political party. So the minor political parties that play a small role in some cases, much smaller, even insignificant in comparison to the bigger parties. In country politics and elections, so the minor parties often receive very smaller numbers of votes at any election, to the point of losing any candidate nomination deposit. So I'm also here to discuss how the two-party system started in the United States. So the two-party system mentioned are the Democrats, and the two parties mentioned are the Democrats and the Republicans, and so the originalities of these two parties is the two-party began when the United States was free from the British rule, and some states wanted to build themselves and work together as one nation. So the two parties were born in the time when some states were against the one nation idea or the federalism idea, and others supporting the one nation idea. Those are two parties that were made. So the federal or the the states that were supporting the one nation idea, which are the federalism, were supporting the constitution of federal government, and federal government wanted that each state remains with their local powers or independent in the local states. And the anti-federalists considered the one nation idea as power and freedom diminishing. That's mainly why they were against the federalism idea or the one nation idea. The anti-federalists later became the Jefferson Republican Party to the Democratic Republicans, and now they are currently the Democrats. So now the Federalists are the current Republicans, and the Anti-Federalists became the current Democrats. So these two systems kept on in the United States up to date. And another idea of how the two-party system started, taking an example of the presidential election, it is clearly seen that there are always two main parties that always dominate during the presidential elections. So there is this system which is called the winner takes all system, working in the United States which has been working in the United States for some years. And this system supports that if the presidential candidate gets most votes in a certain state, all the votes from the state are given to that candidate. So the two-party system came to existence because the weaker parties are always forced to form the alliance to be big enough to challenge the large dominant party. Hence the birth of the two-party system in the United States, which is always seen in the United States. So we discussed the three parties that exist, which we said are the Democrats and the Republicans, and also the minor political party. And the minor political parties also have a major impact in the national politics, towards the national politics. So to discuss, though these minor parties have won very few elected positions, but they play a significant role in the nation politics as they organize and mobilize around a single issue, thus putting pressure on the candidates from the major parties to report every single issue. And in addition, the third parties can have a large impact on the results of the elections, as they can sometimes reduce votes, because if some people are voting the minor political party, the votes for the major political parties are declined. So that shows the effect the minor political parties has on the presidential elections. Though they are not that powerful to win the elections, but they can reduce the votes of the major political parties. What is the basic process by which a bill becomes a law?
I don't think I have all the knowledge about that, but I think when the legislative part or branch has established the law, it's submitted to the rest of the branches where they deal about it, and the judicial part or branch is verifying whether it is the society, then it is submitted to executive where they see whether it is well serving the society. Then the president of the USA is the one to conclude whether the law should be implemented, or he vets it by saying he vets it, so he rejects it. If probably 19 days are over without making the law official, then he rejects it. That's all I know.
Discussing the process by which a bill becomes a law. This is made in almost 9 steps. The bill is first drafted. Any member of the Congress, either from the Senate or the House or the Representatives, who has any idea for law can draft the bill. The primary Congress member supporting the bill is called the sponsor, and the other members who support the bill are called co-sponsors. The second step is the bill is introduced. If the bill is drafted, then can be introduced. If a senator is the sponsor, the bill is introduced in the Senate. And once the bill is introduced, it can be found on official government websites, and that tracks the federal legislation. And the third step is the bill goes to the committee. When the bill is is in the hands of the committee. It is carefully examined, and its chances of the passage by the entire Congress are determined. The committee may even choose to hold hearings to better understand the implications of the bill. Hearing allows the views of the executive branch, experts, other public officials, and supporters, opponents of the legislation, to be put in the record. If the committee does not act on the bill is considered to be dead. The fourth step is the subcommittee review of the bill. Subcommittees are organized under committees and have further specialization on certain topic. So often committees refer to bills to a subcommittee for study and other own hearings. The subcommittee may make changes to the bill and must vote to refer a bill back to the full committee. So the fifth step is committee markup of the bill. When the hearings and subcommittee review the committee will meet to mark up the bill. They make changes and amendments prior to the recommending the bill to the floor. If a committee votes not to report legislation to the full chamber of the Congress, the bill dies. And if the committee votes in favor of the bill, it is reported to the floor. The procedure is called ordering a bill reported. The sixth step is voting the full chamber of the bill. Once the bill reaches the floor, there is an additional debate and members of the full chamber vote to approve any amendments. The bill is then passed or defeated by the members voting. The seventh step is the referral of the bill to the other chamber. Congress may form a conference committee to resolve or reconcile the differences between the House, the Senate versions of a bill. If the conference committee is unable to reach an agreement, the bill dies. If an agreement is reached, the committee members prepare the conference report with the recommendations for the final bill. Both the House and Senate must vote to approve the conference report. And the eighth step is the bill goes to the president. After the House and the Senate have approved the bill in an identical form, the bill is sent to the president. If the president approves of the legislation, it is signed and becomes law. If the president takes no action for 10 days while the Congress is in session, the bill automatically becomes law. And if the president opposes the bill, they make vote of the bill. Overriding the vote, which is the ninth step. If the president vetoes the bill, the Congress may attempt to override the veto. If both the Senate and the House pass the bill by the 2/3 majority, the president's veto is overruled and the bill becomes law. So that's a summary of how the processes which the bill passed through to become a law.